Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode, and a very special episode of Kingdoms. My friends, it is episode 100. Absolutely unbelievable. I cannot believe that we've already done 100 episodes in this world. Time flies. It seems like just yesterday that we started this world up. And today's episode is going to be a special one and a bit of a trip down memory lane. I hope you guys will enjoy it. Normally every 25 episodes I do a world tour and a download and all that kind of stuff. We're not going to do the world tour today, at least not in the traditional sense. You guys will see in a little bit. But there is a world download. It is in the description, and I've spent some time making sure everything is ready for the world download. All the new Patreon supporters are in the Hall of Patrons. Everyone who is supposed to have a house, at least as far as I know, now has a house somewhere in the world, all the patrons who have a pledge at that level. And I want to start off today by kind of inducting those new patrons into the Hall of Patrons, and then we'll get into our little bit of a trip and kind of maybe not a memorial is the right word, but we're definitely going to be looking back at the last 100 episodes and kind of reflecting on everything we've accomplished in this world so far. And I hope you guys will really enjoy it. But first, new patrons. We've got, you know what, I need some blocks so you guys can actually see these folks. Let's see. Just grab some cobble. That'll do. There we go. So we got a few new patrons. Actually, quite a few new patrons. And we'll start off. We have John Baker, Crafty Miner Gal, John Wesley Hundley, and Riley Adam. And then over here, we have Jim Bivacqua. If I butcher your name, by the way, patrons, I'm very sorry. Michael Bartchak, Elsie Coatzer, Rolling Eye, Angela Dobbs, Pepperjack, Louis Hetenyi, Paul Petrick, Sattercat Online, Ragnar Berkland Fjordtoft. Ragnar, I probably butchered your name too, I'm very sorry. The Shiny Sylveon, T-Croc17, Michael Keeling, Christopher Ackerlund, and Flask Monk 2000. So, all new patrons, welcome guys. I appreciate the support. It really means a lot. Also, patrons, if you're watching this and your head is not above your sign, that means you haven't sent me your Minecraft in-game name so I can get you properly added. So go ahead and do that. Send me a message on Twitter or Patreon or something. Preferably on Patreon, honestly, because then I can verify that it's you right away, and I'll get you added to the Hall of Patrons. So that is the changes. I also made sure that everyone who is at the correct Patreon donation level, that they're supposed to have a house somewhere in the world, they all now have a sign on the house that they have been given. So when you download the world, definitely explore, see if you can find yourself if you're a patron. Otherwise, download the world and enjoy it and look around and all that kind of good stuff. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in to our trip down memory lane. So our journey began here in Altum, the first town that we built, and we started off with almost nothing. And in the first episode, we built this survival tower, and then it grew all the way to this. Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome to a brand new vanilla survival series. I've decided what I'm going to do for a starter house. I'm actually going to build a starter tower instead, which I think will be kind of cool. There it is, our little starter tower. Alright guys, I am back, and I've got the AFK fishing farm built. It's very, very small, very, very simple. This is the whole thing right here. So I think that's good. And in today's episode, we are going to be building ourselves a little bit of a warehouse, because this storage system here, yeah, it's not doing it for me. Alright guys, I am back. So I've got everything moved in and nice and organized, and I think it's looking really good. So there we go. We've got ourselves a wall that kind of sections off this part of the village. Alright guys, I am back, and I think I've got the roof of the tower worked out. It's very kind of fat, and I think I like it that way. Yep, that feels good to me. And there we have it. That is the Kingdom of Altum. The first of many. We'll probably come back here someday, and we'll clean some stuff up, and we'll change a couple things, and tweak a couple things, and overhaul some stuff. But for the time being, I'm extremely happy with the way that it feels and the way that it looks. Now, after finishing Altum, we started a new kingdom, which eventually became Anona, our farming village, and it was a lot more humble when it was first started. Also, Altum was actually pretty much finished before I started using and before I created the texture pack that you guys have grown accustomed to. The texture pack didn't actually start being used until we founded the kingdom of Anona here. And the texture pack has also kind of developed and grown along with the world, and many changes have been made over time to it, and you'll kind of see that throughout this video. You'll notice different textures and different things. But this was our next project, the farming village of Anona. We did a bunch of work here and really kind of turned this into a pretty cool place using what was, at the time, the brand new bone blocks, along with the oak, to make these kind of almost Tudor-style houses. And I really like the way they look. I think they're pretty cool. But we had many more things to do. Let me know what you think about the texture pack so far and how it, what your thoughts are on it. So I think this is it right here. This kind of area. This is going to be our new kingdom. I don't have a world yet. I don't have a name for it yet. This house is pretty much good to go and done. All right, guys, I am back, and you can kind of see the animal pens coming into view right over here. So we got our cows, our sheep, and our pigs all kind of laid out. Here's our cow farm, or our cow pen. We've got our pigs in the middle, and it's a bit smaller because I really don't have any use for pigs whatsoever. And then we've got our sheep over here. So I did that between episodes. In today's episode, what I'd like to do is I'd like to start working a little bit on a barn, I think. So awesome. The barn is complete. A Tudor-style barn, or a medieval barn would probably be a more adequate name for it. So this is kind of our little forge area. Any vanilla survival world definitely needs one of these bad boys. This is an Ender. It's the Doc M design, and we put one of these up. We killed the dragon and put one of these up while we were in the middle of working on Anona, and it's been here ever since. It's pretty cool. I love it. The design turned out really well. It really shows off the acacia wood in my texture pack, and I come here all the time to get levels and repair my items. You can see we have chests upon chests of ender pearls. I also come here to stock up on those as well. But that was a much needed addition, and we built this kind of in the middle of our Anona project. And then we're going to set off and see if we can find ourselves a stronghold. I think that'll be a very, very useful thing for us, because ultimately it's kind of important that we, do the end thing, find the stronghold, do all that kind of sort of stuff. So let's see. Right here, down this little cave, is what it looks like. Okay. All right, guys, I am back and I found it. I'm gonna go ahead and destroy the silverfish spawner right away, because let's be honest, those things are annoying. Whew. This should be it right here. Got him. Goodbye, dragon. Whoo! We brought him down, and that is the end of the Ender Dragon. Let's take a picture. We have ourselves an Ender. So now I need to dig this pathway going all the way over there. So let me get some progress for you, and I will be back momentarily. You can see how it's all kind of coming together at this point, and really starting to feel like a path, like a road, and not just one that you kind of, this is the kind of path that you want to walk along. You just kind of want to go and relax and travel and see the world. What I want to do in today's episode is I would like to build 2 bridges, both of them relatively simple, relatively, kind of quaint, and I want one of them to be kind of a cobblestone-looking arched bridge, and one of them to be a little bit more woody, for lack of a better term. But it's not bad. It's not bad. Now we just gotta go through and, once again, mess it up, which we can totally do. Also, while working on Anona, we added roads to the world, connecting Anona up to Altum, which I think is a very important part of any world like this. You gotta have the roads, because the roads are what brings it all to life. And then we also built the skeleton farm, which to this day still remains one of my favorite builds in the whole world. I love the way that this turned out. It's so dilapidated and worn down, just the combination and the shapes and the roof, and I just really love this build. We built that while we were working on Anona as well. But it didn't take too long before we pretty much finished up Anona. We got some more additions later on, but we had other kingdoms to work on, and that was this. Solus, the City of Light. This was the next addition to our world, and it has come a long ways, but there is still a massive amount of stuff left to do here. We built houses, we built this cathedral, which we only recently finished. Actually, this thing took us forever. I think we started the cathedral in like episode 40 or something like that, and we only finished it like an episode or two ago. Also, I feel like this villager breeder and trading hall project is probably going to end up the same way. And much to do here. But Solus was the next step, and this was the first kind of city, like true city, that we started working on. Everything else up to this point was just kind of a village. This, when it's all said and done, which, who knows, may not be for another 100 episodes, this will be an expansive and large and very kind of immersive city with roads and all sorts of different stuff. So it's going to be awesome, but we still have a lot of work left to do here too. Either way, let's take a look back at Solus. This used to be a birch forest right here. This was all a birch forest, just like this. And I've been very busy between episodes clearing it out, because this is actually where our new kingdom is going to start. This kingdom is going to be kind of different from the other ones that we've built so far. I think this is going to go away. The previous kingdoms, Altum and Anona, were both kind of meant to be sort of small and quaint. You know, we'd have essentially, you know, Anona's a farming village, really just kind of a small farming village, couple of buildings, some farms, things like that. And Altum is more of an outpost than anything else. This is not going to be that. This is going to be a proper city. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, I could get behind that. And we could potentially do some stuff like this as well, just to kind of detail it a little bit. Yeah, that's not bad. I like it. I think it's good. I think it is good. So we have another house that has been added to Solus. I think it's good. I know that in this town, in Solus, in this city of light, I want to have a giant kind of Gothic-style cathedral that rises up kind of out of the back over here, and I think it's going to be super awesome. Yep, that feels better. That feels a lot better. Yeah, that is definitely, I think that's good. That's very close to the style I want. You can see some of the detail in there from down below. I think that'll do. And you'll see as this kind of comes into the view, like, just look at that. That is beautiful. That's not horrendous. That's not horrendous either. It looks kind of random, which I'm not necessarily a huge fan of. Yeah, that looks much better. I'd still like to get something maybe up in here, but I'm not super concerned with that either. I mean, all in all, I think this room looks pretty good, and we've got lighting in here now too. I think that's pretty good. Like, I'm happy with it. I think it works, and I think the cathedral is done, which is an amazing thing to say. Now, another thing that any good vanilla survival world needs is a proper nether hub and nether transportation network. And we've got that here. I finished this, actually. This tunnel, this is another thing that I've been working on forever and ever and ever. But I finally just finished this tunnel in time for the world download. We kind of went on another tunnel kick and another transportation network kick while we were working on Solus. So we were kind of bouncing back and forth between, like, this nether hub design and tunnels to different places like our Ender. We found a couple new biomes to make tunnels to, like an Ice Plains Spikes biome and stuff like that. But that was going on while we were working on Solus as well. And now, this side of it at least, is actually finished. I think today we are going to be setting up our nether hub. And I think it is kind of a project that is long overdue. I want to try maybe something like this just to kind of... Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. Alright guys, I am back and I've got a couple things to try out. So first and foremost, let's try the iron bars. I think this is a pretty cool design. It's very kind of ominous and scary, and I think it works. And it's very obvious from looking at this that this takes you to the end because we got a lot of the purple. I'm actually pretty happy with how this turned out. It looks very, very good. After Solus and our nether portals, the next kingdom that we decided to start up was this, our Ravine Kingdom, Rathnor. And we've got a bunch of cool little caves and stuff over here. This kingdom is another one that is far, far from finished. And we have a lot of work left here to do, but I've just kind of been distracted with other things. We've been kind of coming back here and doing work here and there. And I definitely want to do more work over here. This place needs more houses and homes and all sorts of stuff. But this is something that we have been working on. And then there's a path that leads out this way, which is going to eventually connect up to the next kingdom that we'll get to in a little while. But Rathnor, Ravine Village, pretty cool, pretty cool. And I think it would be really cool to build a kingdom kind of in a ravine. There we go. Wonder why I wouldn't let me do that before. That's a little funky. But maybe something like that. That's pretty cool. Maybe we'll say this room over here is some sort of like a forge type room. So this is kind of like a tinker's room, workbench, who knows? There's all sorts of different things that could be going on here. Maybe in this one we put like a shears, just, random things that have kind of been collected and put in places and things like that. Yeah, just look at that. I mean, that already looks way better just from that little bit that we've done. It's a nice little room. It kind of, it's just a thing. Kind of an idea for something to add if you're, looking for that sort of thing. Now, around that time, we also did a bit of work out here in the desert. And this may eventually become a desert kingdom of some sort, but this is where I come to get sand and sandstone. And we decided to make a cactus farm out here. And I think this actually turned out pretty well. I like it, and it definitely produces more cactus than I'm ever going to use. It goes all the way down several levels. There's probably an insane amount of cactus down there right now. But we did the cactus farm, and then we also went ahead and we built ourselves the end portal room, which is another one of my favorite builds in this world. Coming down here, it turned out so well. Just the way that this turned out, the colors and the block palette, I think it turned out really well. And this leads, obviously, to the end. So this is another thing that we worked on during that time frame. And I want to start working on what is ultimately going to be a cactus farm. And I think that would look pretty good. We'd be lacking color, but we could make that up in other ways by using maybe greenery or something like that. Yeah, that's not bad. That's a nice start. We now have all the layers in place. I got this done between episodes, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4 layers of cactus. I want to get this room looking good instead of just not good. All right, guys, I am back. We've got it all in place. It's looking good. I'm liking it. I think it looks fantastic. All the walls are done. I do need more sugar canes so I can bring these up to 4 high, but I did have enough to bring them all up to 3 high, so I went ahead and did that. Finally, the last kingdom that we have started, or at least the most recent kingdom that we have started in this world. This is Woodsong, the Skyrim-inspired village, or the Nordic village, and I love the way this thing is looking and coming along so far. There's still a lot of work left to do here, too, but it's coming along quite nicely. We've got all sorts of houses. We've got the Jarl's Longhouse, which is one of the largest builds in the kingdom's world, and there's all sorts of cool stuff in here. Just the way that this turned out, I really like it. I think it turned out really well. And there's a lot of cool shapes and details in it, too. But Rathnor, this was our most recent project, and still one that's very much in progress. But there are so many more things left here to do, and so much that we've already accomplished as well. It's been quite the journey. And this leads off into the horizon, where we are going to be building a Skyrim-themed village. I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? We're going to do it. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, so next step then is for me to go ahead and get up there and kind of mess up the roof a bit. Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of Kingdoms. We are here today in the Skyrim-themed village, and you may notice it looks a little bit different than the last time we were here. Let's head over and let's work on the Jarl's Longhouse. I think that'll be kind of a fun project, and it's going to be a pretty big project as well. It's a very large building. Yeah, I think that'll be good once we get the other roof on it and all that kind of stuff. What I'm looking at right now that I'm liking is just kind of the general shape of the thing. I like the shape. But yeah, that seems pretty good. This is a nice little room. Nothing super fancy. We'll put some sort of a flower pot here that'll give it a little bit of, greenery. But I think that's a pretty good room. All right, let's give that a look-see. That's much better. And we're back. Guys, I can't believe it's already been 100 episodes of Kingdoms. Time flies. Time flies so fast when you're having fun. And I'm so proud of this world and what it's become and what it is turning into, and I can't wait to see what another 100 episodes of progress is going to look like. It's going to be amazing. Guys, I want to thank you all. Those of you who've been with us since the very beginning, thank you so much for your support. Those of you who joined later, thank you as well. I hope you guys are enjoying this World Kingdoms, this vanilla survival series as much as I am. I don't know what the next 100 episodes will bring us. I don't know what the future of Kingdoms looks like, but I know that it's going to be amazing, and I have you guys to thank for it, and oh man, this world, it's something else. I'm really proud of this. This world is my baby. Guys, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this trip down memory lane. You guys mean the world to me, and this world also is something I'm very proud of. So guys, world download in the description. All sorts of important other stuff down there as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll leave you with this.